Hi everyone, my name's Sean and welcome to the How to Hero YouTube channel. And this channeling is something that will be offered to the early access for the patrons, and it will go live on the YouTube channel in about a week. And in this one we're talking about a really fun topic, a topic that like initially I think a lot of people have a bit of fear around this topic, and so I'm hoping that this channeling sort of brings some light to the situation when people are thinking about demons, negative entities, how to protect against them, and what that actually means, and how that how we sort of navigate that type of situation. So I'm just going to start. This was a question that was asked of me a little while ago, but I never made a video of it or anything like that. They just asked me directly, and I channeled it for them and gave it to them. But I just, for whatever reason, woke up this morning and was like, this is a good one for the patrons. So I'm creating that for you guys, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So the question is, how does one deal with negative entities or demons which seem to be attacking an individual psychically, even as far as bringing about sensations in the skin or marks in which pain or discomfort was a precursor? We are the principle of Ka and greet you in the eternal peace and love of the one infinite creator. We are grateful to witness your query and will endeavor to answer to the best of our ability in the limitations of this language. We ask that you carefully assess each thought as it passes through your heart and use your best discernment to identify those thoughts which resonate in your being and discard those that do not. We are as you are, seekers of truth and humble messengers of the law of one. If you may use your heart to guide you to your truth through our sharing, letting go of what does not resonate, we can speak freely of our philosophy, knowing we are not infringing upon your free will. There are two primary methods of dealing with what you have termed a demon. Before we address the query, we must take a moment to disentangle the implied misunderstanding of what these entities are. A negative entity will, if it feels it may influence a third density mind-body-spirit complex with fear, construct a thought form for what you may term as its target, this target being the mind-body-spirit complex, or what you in this sphere would term a human. These thought forms are real in that they do have an existence upon a plane. However, they are constructed from the vulnerabilities inherent in the target. In and of themselves, they do not contain sentience, and are acting as instructed by the constructing negative entity who seeks to instill fear and display power over the third density entity. They may be likened to a type of robot, acting out their programming upon the third density entity, who is to be the target. These constructs are brought about via the will and wisdom of a fourth or fifth density negative entity by building the particular form that the target mind-body-spirit complex will find most uncomfortable. In other words, the armor of light that encapsulates the mind-body-spirit complex has chinks in its protection due to the distortions of self that have not accepted aspects of self. They are typically not capable of manifesting physical manipulation of the mind-body-spirit complex unless they are exploiting an existing physical condition such as allergies, rheumatoid arthritis, inflammation, or a distortion towards fatigue. Often these physical conditions are distortions that were planned at the pre-incarnation stages, though entities do also manifest new distortions born of the disharmony they feel within, and these too may be exploited. Negative entities do not incite fear when gazed upon in their natural vibration. Rather, they elicit a prime sense of beauty. They will often be seen to have a red, orange, or yellow hue to their aura, and will mesmerize the eye with their indescribable beauty. If one experiences an encounter with an entity that appears scary, this is a thought form being constructed specifically for this targeted individual or group of individuals, and is not a representation of the entity constructing this thought. We may now speak to the methods in which these entities may be dealt with. The first understanding is the most difficult for many. This understanding is simple, though it can be difficult to grasp and feel in the heart while knowing in the mind. This understanding is that all things are of the one infinite creator and contain love. Love and light is the energy that forms all things, seen and unseen, in the infinite creation. All beings, all moments, all thoughts, and all experiences are manifest of the will of the infinite creator in love. In unity, the paradoxes resolve. Good and evil coalesce into an infinite love, and the polarity is lost. As within, so without. As above, so below. This instrument will use these words to remind themselves that they are the one infinite creator. Their power to create and manifest is infinite. It is only the rejection of self and the conditioning of the human that stands as a barrier to this infinite power and eternal love. The practice to build this knowing within is to look to all things and see the Creator. Look to the demon, and with an open heart, love the expression of the Creator. Marvel at the capacity for darkness, and remain steadfast in your power, for you are the Creator, and the other entity or thought form is merely another aspect of you. You are all that is. You are the demon which greets you. You are the entity which sent them. Love them, for they are you. The entities which send these vibrations gain power from fear, as this is a manipulation and a success in abridging the free will of the target mind-body-spirit complex. They gain in negative polarity as service to self-oriented beings. Therefore, how may one strip these creations of their power? Show them love. Accept their being, but reject their service offering. They are greeting you in darkness. When love is sent their way, the darkness must illuminate. The entity who has sent the thought form will fail in its task and lose polarity. They will not endeavor to continue this practice once the target mind-body-spirit complex has shown this capacity for unconditional love, as the spiritual entropy of the negative path of service to self is too high for the risk of loss of polarity to be worth the investment. You are not sending them love and asking for them to stay. Rather, you are saying, I love you. I accept you as you are. I do not require your service any longer. Thank you. I love you. Goodbye. This instrument recalls a moment when a shadow figure leered over him as he slept. He awoke to see a shadowy, humanoid-type thought form hovering only feet above him. He felt tremendous fear, as he had never encountered anything like this in his life so close and so imposing. This instrument was able to recall that this shadow apparition was an aspect of himself, an aspect of the one infinite creator. He was able to smile and beam love at this thought form. Instantly, the thought form dissipated and left. The coldness that was felt retreated. He was left feeling gratitude, love, and acceptance for the experience, knowing it served his learning. The second practice is easier to complete, and we would recommend this is done daily by any who wish to strengthen their shielding. Adorn the golden light of the one infinite creator, so your entire body basked in golden light. All crevices glow golden. All cracks are filled with the love and light of the infinite creator. Hold this vision of self in self-visualization and feel this golden glow grow brighter and brighter with each breath. Sit in this power and light for as long as feels comfortable, and when resonant, release the image with gratitude, knowing that you are protected and loved. Each time this is done, the effect is cumulative. Each time, the knowing that you are protected is seeded more into the deeper trunk of mind and subconscious. This warding may not be infringed upon by any entity without your consent, though continuing distortions may still be exploited until the distortions of self are accepted with unconditional love. It is for this reason these two practices go hand in hand, and this is also why the healing of self is the primary directive for all seekers of truth. The truth sought is the truth of self. The true self must be accepted with all distortion in unconditional love. Once this is accomplished, there are no more distortions that may be manipulated by other entities. Know too that you are not alone. Each of you has guides, angels, spirits, ancestors, and loving souls watching and ready to aid, should you ask it of them. Ask their assistance in empowering your gilded armor of the Creator. Ask their assistance to bring you back to yourself. They are there to serve, as it is their calling. Ask with gratitude and respect, knowing that they will honor your request. If you will it, it shall be done. We leave you now in the luminescent glory and peace of the one infinite Creator. And so it is. So I really liked that channeling. I think that it becomes very complicated for us when we have a very terrifying experience. As our third eye opens, we start to have multidimensional or quantum experiences. The infiniteness of the creation and various dark energies can start to form in us. We start to notice darkness in our perception, in our inner eye, or we may actually physically see things as well. I know that in the channeling, it mentioned the dark figure looming over my bed. I was paralyzed, and I sort of was trying to struggle myself awake, and I woke up and the figure was there. So it wasn't a dream state or anything like that. And anybody who's experienced sleep paralysis will probably have an idea of what I'm talking about. And it's a pretty common experience. And it's something that luckily I was able to wake up and just sort of think, oh, this is an aspect of me. This is an aspect of God that's, attempting to offer me their service. Their services of separation and fear. And it's not a service that I find helpful for me in the moment. And so I reject the service, but I accept them in love. And I was able to sort of do that. But I did have a moment, or several moments maybe, of deep fear and a coldness, like oh my God, what is this? Right? And so we can have those experiences, and even still, I'll occasionally, in the corners of my eye, I'll see shadow people, right? And this could sound kind of weird, but I'll see sort of shadow people, and I'll start radiating love. I do that on purpose because I have this sort of theory that some of these constructs kind of get lost and are just looking to come back to the light, and they're just kind of approaching, some of them. And so it can be a very sympathetic or empathetic feeling that I have when these entities approach, because I sort of feel like they're drawn, sort of like moths to a flame, or like insects that are drawn to light, right? It's sort of like this, and I'll occasionally notice shadowy figures looming, or they seem to be looming. I actually sort of think that they're just waiting for someone to guide them to the light, to show them love. I actually think that I've read a couple of works by some shamans that have talked about these entities that are essentially roaming around the plains, basically looking for someone to love them. And I actually believe that when we encounter these entities that are not the constructed thought forms, that are actually other entities that are stuck in darkness, that they can appear scary. And part of the challenge is for us to realize they're not scary. They're not meaning harm. They're lost souls in a way. And so we can help bring them back to the light through that type of just unconditional love for them. And it can be challenging. So if you're experiencing negative experiences that seem to be coming from outside, they don't seem to be things that you're aware of, you're manifesting. They don't seem to be like imagination. And actually, I don't really think there's much of a difference between imagination and reality. I just think imagination or reality in that plane is another plane of existence. And so all of it is real. And the trick, I think, is, like Ka said, is to just sort of open the heart with no barrier. It's actually the light and the love that serves as a barrier to a negative entity that's trying to infringe. So you could think of the light and the love as like a wall for them. When they try to approach, it's like running into a brick wall of love. They can't go further. And so that is the tactic to deal with any type of negative entities, including, and this is really important, including humans, which seem to have dark passengers, dark attachments, or dark intentions. When you show peace and bring only peace and love, the force that they're trying to use to manipulate you has nowhere to go. All negative entities only receive their power through your giving it to them. And in this way, everything that they do, they're taking from. But the trick is that you're actually giving it to them willingly. And that's part of the sort of the law of consent, which dictates whether or not wherever your energy goes is all up to you. But because we get scared, and in our fear we get confused, we start to unknowingly sort of offer ourselves and our energy to these forces. And so whether it's a dark entity, demon, a sort of supernatural type of occurrence, or an everyday occurrence in just, you meet a human that just seems sort of evil to you, you can sort of realize, okay, this evil feeling person is needing love. All beings are sort of seeking love and trying to find love, trying to find unconditional acceptance. And that's how they learn how to find and experience the creator and come back to source. And so there are entities that have become confused on that path, humans as well as spirits and whatever way we want to describe any entity. There are a lot of confused entities that are on the path of what is not, or the path of fear. It's the path of illusion and confusion. And it's appropriate for them in their path to be as they are. And so it's part of our job to accept that as they are is as they are meant to be. We love that expression of the creator. It's a dark expression, but there's love there. There is love there. The entire purpose of them and their role is to help us find the love and unconditional acceptance within ourselves. If we weren't opposed by any forces that appear to pressure against our unconditional love, we would not learn how to hold unconditional love through tumultuous experience. And so it's part of our sort of journey and planned progress that these types of entities come into the sort of the play of the experience, or the drama of duality. And this drama progresses actually into the higher densities where, we have conflict and forces that fight in fourth density. And then in fifth density, it starts to become understood that the fighting doesn't really fix anything. And then later in sixth density, everything coalesces into unity. And the negative entities go, oh, what was I doing? Oh, I've been a little bit silly. It was all perfect. And I instantly will switch into the light. They'll usually go through a long period of disharmony and confusion and sort of maybe resentment, anger, that type of thing. But eventually they'll go, the only way for me to progress in my polarity and my power is to relinquish all the service to self, to embrace all and open my heart. Or open the green ray energy center, because not all beings have hearts, right? So I hope that helped. I hope some of my reflection on it afterwards helped as well. And if you enjoyed the video, please share with friends, family, whatever, anybody that you think might resonate with this type of thing. It really helps to get these types of messages, I think, out to as broad of an audience as possible. And I just wanted to say I really appreciate you listening and appreciate your patronage if you're in the patrons. If not, then you'll be seeing this, a week later. But, I try to offer everything as freely as I can. So, I hope everything works well for you guys. Thank you so much. Sending so many blessings, all the love, and take care.